Hello there, you're listening to the Box Office Show. I'm Ryan Hill.
And I'm Dylan Johnson. Today we are not going to be talking about the box office numbers from last weekend or our box office predictions for the upcoming weekend.
No, instead, we're going to be talking all about the Golden Globes, which had their ceremony this past weekend. So we will dive into all the winners in all the categories and give our thoughts on who won, who should have won, any upsets, any surprises, and the mild train wreck that was the ceremony itself, the telecast. All right, let's dive into it. Dylan, we watched it together.
Yes, we did.
We sat down, we pulled it up after desperately trying to find how we could, in fact, watch the Golden Globes. Since we don't have cable,
Took a fat minute.
we were not able to have it on Paramount Plus because it's a higher tier to get it live. By the way, did you cancel your Fubo subscription?
I did cancel it. Shout out Fubo for the 7-day free trial.
Exactly. There you go. So that's how we were able to watch it live. So go ahead and just give me your overall thoughts on the program, the 3 hour plus extravaganza that was the Golden Globes this year.
The ceremony itself was atrocious, to say the least. I mean, so many bizarre things to pick apart that we'll get into, including the location services.
You were a big fan at the start of the night with those locations, and then
yeah. It got old really fast.
Yeah,
very unfortunate. Editing mistakes, the weird camera that was on a jib that swooped in, that wasn't even like being controlled by a cameraman, that turned the presenters on their sides instead of just shooting from a long lens for some reason. Atrocious, obnoxious. Seth Rogen pointed out how much he hates it in the middle of the broadcast.
it was real for that. The security cam footage that we got, the one cutaway to the whatever that was,
bizarre. Like we're watching like a live feed from a zoo or something. Horrible cutaway. Awkward music cues because they were running off of a DJ who was playing the actual music from the movies, but it seemed like he was just hitting play on random parts from the soundtrack as opposed to like tailoring it to really good moments in the soundtrack. So it just felt like weird, awkward parts for some of these soundtracks, especially the Brutalist. Really
that
weird.
That one and Shogun was
Shogun, yeah,
the most difficult to get through. And then the fun facts that were both on screen and being read aloud by the announcer.
Yeah, because they have to fill in so much dead air because they seat people in a weird way to where a lot of the people who we can pretty much guess are going to win were seated very, very far from the stage. And so a good chunk of the telecast was watching these motherfuckers try and get to the fucking stage and not know how to get there. Because, I mean, you're sitting down in this ballroom, in this hotel, and there's a bunch of tables, and they're all in the way, and you have to get to the stage to give your speech and accept your award, and there's nobody there kind of pointing which way you're supposed to go, and then there's a bunch of cameramen running around as well trying to get close-ups on you as you're walking. It's like a minefield of obstacles to get through, which is why award shows like the Emmys or the Oscars, where it's an actual auditorium with rows, makes more sense. You just go down the row and walk straight towards the stage, easy peasy. This is definitely a lot more challenging, which is why, I mean, most of these events, which are held in like hotels with tables and dining service and drinks, aren't usually televised. It's more of like just a live event for the people there, because it's just a pain in the ass to keep the flow moving, which we saw evidently over the weekend at this year's Golden Globes. I mean, it was an absolute train wreck of a ceremony. The only saving grace somewhat was Nikki Glaser, who was a step up from last year's Joe Coy. A significant step up.
Yeah, pretty low bar. So she was definitely able to clear that almost instantaneously. And I think, yeah, she did very well. She had some good bits in there. The popular joke
Very
That
good.
was that was stellar. That was top tier.
The turnaround almost immediately to go, what is that? This is terrible.
Everyone hates it. It
Fantastic,
sucks.
fantastic.
So yeah, that was great. And then the monologue itself was pretty good. There was a lot of concern that it was going to be more like roast heavy, like she'd be like insulting people, like
Hmm.
Ricky Gervais type things. But she was not like that at all. Like they were
She pulled some
very
punches for sure.
light jabs here and there, but for the most part, I mean, yeah, I think the worst any person or film got was Joker 2. She
Yeah,
made a remark there and it was like, and the Joker 2 people, they're not here, so we don't have to worry about it anyway.
heavy
So,
hit.
but yeah, I thought, yeah, she was very entertaining, looked very comfortable up on the stage. Again, just very, very good hosting performance there. So I will not be surprised when we see her next year, or at least sometime in the next few years. She'll definitely get the invite back, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully, whoever directed the award ceremony will be fired immediately. Because talk
Yeah.
about atrocious. I mean, what is the idea behind the steady cam on the tripod that zooms in onto the presenters and just circles them? It must be just jarring and claustrophobic, is it not?
Yeah, we'll get to the one moment where that kind of worked out. But yeah, there's just a lot of issues throughout the whole ceremony. A lot of teleprompter issues as well. There's like multiple times the presenters went up and then they were just waiting for their lines to
Yeah.
show up on the screen. So
And also, not a lot of great interactions between the presenters, especially like when there were duos stepping out there. Not a lot of good hits, I would
yeah,
say. I
those are
think,
always hit or miss though. Like it's
yeah,
always
it felt like
uh
a lot of miss, though. A lot of miss.
yeah. I mean, the Seth Rogen Catherine O'Hara one was by far the best.
But it went on so long.
Yeah, you're saying it went on long. Again, I could forgive that because they knew it was like the strongest bit that they had. I would say, yeah, it was a little much. And then what were they even presenting right afterwards? Like it was
They
like
were
the anthology thing or
presenting
something like that. You know?
best female actor in something.
Yeah, because I think that was how they originated their bit, but their Canada themed bit, soon to be the 51st state of the United States.
Oh, I think that's
So
best female actor in a comedy when uh, Demi Moore won.
no, I don't
I
think so. That'd
think
be a wild transition in tone there from their bit to Demi Moore's speech. I don't think it was that.
I can't remember.
Um, but yeah, so that was a solid bit, I think. And then they always have they oscillate between the ones where it's them trying to be more serious, and then the ones where they're just up there trying to joke around. And so the joking around ones are always, you don't know if it's going to be cringe inducing or genuinely funny. So that's always worrisome. And then unless they're lively and really into it, sometimes when they're trying to do the more serious route, it can just come off kind of boring.
Yeah,
And
it was best performance by an actress in a limited series, which went
there
to
you go.
Baby Reindeer.
There you go. So yeah, I think again with presenters, it's always you're always flipping that coin. So I've learned to just live with that. Again, I wish they would, unless they know it's like a hit, like a very very solid bit. I just wish they would just do a very quick remark about the category, whatever it happens to be, and then just move on. Like just give them more time up on stage to speak about their own work and everything. I would just prefer more of that. But all right, let's dive into the actual winners for each category here. So they started
Yes.
off with best performance by an actress in a supporting role in a motion picture, any motion picture. They don't divide it by comedy or drama for supporting. And so Zoe Saldana won for Amelia Perez, and then
Hell yeah.
immediately burst into tears the second
Oh
her name
my
was called.
god, dude. Best speech of the night. She just exploded on that stage. It was awesome.
She was crying, and then
She's
she went up. She said, "I don't want to take up too much time," and then proceeded to speak for like 2.5 minutes more after
yeah.
that.
And then when they started playing the music, she went, "No, no, no, stop, stop, stop," and started
Yeah, she
thanking
was like,
even
"No,
more
stop!
people.
This is my
Bro,
time,
I
my time."
love her. She's awesome. I'm so glad that she won. I saw Amelia Perez a while ago, and she's by far her and Carlos Sofia Gascon both are like shining stars in this film. I enjoyed it more so than I think most people did, And I think Zoe Saldana's performance and her like singing and her rapping ability in this movie is incredible. It's awesome. I love it. I think she's fantastic. She dances in it. She's fantastic. Her performance is great. She absolutely earned this above everybody else in this category.
So yeah, I
I
have
have
not
not seen
yet.
The Brutalist though,
That's true.
so maybe Felicity
Brutalist.
Jones is really good. I don't know, but Zoe Saldana was fantastic.
I have not seen The Brutalist since nobody has outside of LA and New York. And with Emilia Perez, I have not yet watched it. But as we'll talk about more throughout this award ceremony, I'm definitely going to have to put it on the list and watch it because it is cleaning up. It is actually going to be an awards juggernaut. So
Yeah,
here we are. And Zoe Saldana, again, the first, well, not the first. I mean, a lot of critics groups have already been awarding her, but this one definitely solidifies that she is the complete front runner for this category at the Oscars. So there you
absolutely.
go.
The next category was Best Performance by an Actress in a Television Series, Musical or Comedy, which went to Jean Smart for Hacks over favorites Quinta Brunson for Abbott Elementary and Ayo Edebiri for The Bear. I mean, incredible win. Love Jean Smart. Love Hacks. That show is fantastic. You need to watch Hacks too because you haven't seen that either.
I have not. I have seen Abbott Elementary. I'm starting my journey of the bear.
About
So
time.
that'll be, gotta get it in there before the final season comes out later this year. And I'm sure we will dedicate an episode to it. But yeah, Hacks has been from the first season. I've always heard good things about it, and so it's been on the list. I just need to get around to it. But that's also, I think, going to have its fourth and final season upcoming this year. So a good time to watch it, actually. All right, our best performance by an actor in a supporting role in any motion picture, Kieran Culkin won for A Real Pain.
And he also gave kind of a hectic speech.
Well, that's par for the course for that man. It's very,
It was very in his character, yeah.
very in the character of A Real Pain and Roman Roy, of course, from Succession. I will just say, I love Kieran Culkin.
I do
Roman
too.
Roy was my favorite character in Succession. Again, he's this crazy, like neurotic ball of energy. I love
I
it.
love Tom.
So entertaining. Yeah, you love Tom. You're a
I
Tom
love
fanboy.
Tom.
I'm a Rome fanboy. So I
You
thought he
can't
was
make a
magnificent.
Tomlet without breaking a few Gregs.
And so yeah, I thought he was magnificent in this. Again, very much a familiar register. It was like very akin to Roman Roy and everything, but it's a fabulous performance. So I'm very thrilled that he won. Not a supporting role, I will say. Complete category
You don't
fraud
think
here.
so?
He's literally the like co-lead of that film. But I guess this is just what we do now. So he will win for supporting actor for his role in a two-hander. But yeah,
Yeah.
great stuff.
Yeah, at this point, it's kind of a lock when you're the co-lead and they throw you to supporting because all these other people. I mean, I haven't seen A Complete Unknown or The Brutalist, so I can't really speak to Edward Norton and Guy Pearce, but definitely the other categories, they're definitely absolutely the supporting actors of those films.
Mm-hmm.
And so if it was truly a competition of who supported the main cast the most and took on that role as a supporting actor, I would have given it to Yuri Borisov for Honora personally. I think he's fantastic in that role. I think everything he does is so subtle and so nuanced, but also very, very funny. He's just so charming in such a fun way. I would have given it to him, but I'm also just a sucker for Honora. I think Denzel's also really good, and so is Jeremy Strong. To be honest, this is a good performances all around.
Absolutely. So yeah.
And then best performance by an actor in a television series drama, no surprise, went to Hiroyuki Sanada for Shogun. He has been cleaning up, as has the show. I mean, it was no contest really. We knew where this was going. He was going to take it, and he did.
Absolutely. So definitely one to be on the lookout for when it has its second season. You and I still need to catch up on the first season. I did watch and reviewed the first episode, the pilot,
You did.
for I think a grab bag or something. And I was like, this is a heavy hitter. This is one to watch. It will probably clean up in the awards. And it certainly did, more so than we thought, because again, it was initially miniseries. And then because this has happened before, where it's like, oh, it wins miniseries, and then they change it to an actual series. And they say, yeah, now we're drama. But this one, in advance of all the award ceremonies, they're like, no, like we're that good and we want to make more seasons. So instead of miniseries, we're going to compete in drama. and they've
And
been
they
winning.
cleaned
Yeah,
up, dude. Good for them.
so great move there. Best supporting or best performance by an actress in a supporting role in a television series, Jessica Gunning for Baby Reindeer.
Baby reindeer. Yeah, I
Indeed.
mean, I think this is deserved. I didn't see the full series. I only saw a couple episodes, but I think she's very good in it. She's been getting a lot of praise. She's been getting a lot of awards. I think her only real competition here for who would like actually win would be Liza Colon-Zayas for The Bear. I think also gives a tremendous performance. Though I would also say, if I was voting, Hannah Einbinder is also fantastic. I just love Hacks.
You do love
I
hacks.
can't help it. I think it is fantastic.
Without seeing it, The Diplomat, Allison Janney, I was supporting her,
You just
as I
love
will always
Allison
do.
Janney.
I do, yes. So, but yeah, it seems like a good crop of people all around.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, congrats to Baby Reindeer. Definitely has
Baby
been
Reindeer.
winning a whole lot.
Absolutely. Best performance by an actor in a supporting role in a television series, Tadanobu Asano for Shogun. I mean, what a speech. Absolutely delightful.
Dude, he is
The
such a
bows he
delightful
was
guy. Oh
giving
my
was
god.
wonderful. Him announcing that he was an actor from Japan, like could not have thought of a more obvious statement. Just absolutely charming. Saying he had to fly back the next day to continue filming.
Hmm.
He's great.
Yeah, he seemed truly delightful. I hope he was able to get to the after parties. I'm sure he would have been so fun at all of that. But he had to get back to work. He's a working man, so
Yep.
we'll definitely be
He's
seeing
dedicated.
more from
He's a
him, I'm
professional.
sure, in Shogun. But
He's a
yeah, one to
pro.
watch. Best performance by an actor in a television series, musical or comedy. Third year in a row? Is that right? Jeremy Allen White for The
Possibly,
Bear,
yeah. I think so.
in what is truly hailed as the greatest comedic performance of all time. Him in The Bear. So funny.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely wild that they're still getting nominated in the comedy
he didn't even
category.
show up. He
And
didn't
he
even
wasn't
show
even
up. That's the
there.
craziest part too. He was like, it's season
Yeah.
3. People didn't like it that much. I don't have to go. What was he doing?
He's
Where was he at?
filming the Bruce Springsteen movie, probably. Come on.
No, he's filming
Filming the
Star
Road to
Wars
the Hut.
Road to the Hut. He's going method for it. Okay, he needs a lot of preparation.
Yeah. To be honest, having seen none of the other shows that were nominated here, I do like Jeremy Allen White and The Bear. But as far as a comedic performance goes, I love Steve Martin and Martin Short. I think they're both absolutely hilarious. I've seen the first season of Only Murders in the Building, and I hear it only gets better. So I think they absolutely deserve this. Big Ted Danson fan, but I didn't watch Man on the Inside. I don't really know Adam Brody's work as much, and I did not see Nobody Wants This. And I love Jason Segel. Love me some Jason Segel, and I've been meaning to watch Shrinking. So when I get my Apple TV subscription, once Severance has released its full second season, and I get Apple TV for the month, I will be watching Shrinking in that month that I have Apple TV. I'll be watching Shrinking, second season of Severance, third season of Ted Lasso, and then a bunch of movies from last year that are on Apple
But
TV
what
that I
are
need to
those
catch up on.
movies? You said Wolves you don't care about.
Yeah.
So what else? What is there
I'm
from
not
Apple
gonna
TV
tell
Plus?
you.
Oh, why not? Why is it a secret? The Napoleon director's cut. You're finally going back.
You just have to wait and find out. Also, they are not Apple TV Plus originals. The distribution was just bought by Apple TV. Like they're just streaming the movies. So this is not
Yeah,
Apple
but it's
TV
only
original.
found there though.
Correct.
So, all
You
right.
just have to wait and see. Because
Best
they might
screenplay.
end up on my top 10. I don't want to spoil it.
Wait, when does Severance come out though? It'll be too late for it to be in the top 10.
I think I'm gonna get Apple TV like later this week. Because Severance starts coming out this week and then it keeps going. I think I'll just have it for 2 months then, I guess. Which kind of sucks. I don't want to do that, but there are movies I need to watch, and if I'm gonna watch all of Shrinking and then the entire last season of Ted Lasso,
Yeah,
and
that'd be a
all
lot to
of
pack in a month.
yeah, and continue rewatching BoJack Horseman. I mean, there's a lot that I gotta crunch in there, you know.
Priorities. That's crazy.
Priorities.
You're crunching all the films from last year to try and make our top 10 list. But
I'm
also
trying, dude. I want it to be
rewatching
because
BoJack.
the problem was we did our top 10 list for 2023, and since we've done that episode, my top 10 list has changed because I've seen more movies from last year. And I don't want that to happen again. I'm trying to watch all the ones that I think would actually make the top 10 so that I could fit them in and have the most accurate list possible. And
Yes.
I might not be able to do it because there's a lot of foreign films that will be very difficult to find in time. But I'm really, really trying. You know,
Yeah,
would
it's
you?
tough, especially when like three of the major, even just Oscar frontrunners are just not available yet.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
yeah, and I also don't know. I have a hard time determining what I'm calling like 2024 movies, like
Yeah,
my top
because
10 of
foreign
2024,
films, especially
come
because
out very
when they release
late.
in their home country versus when they actually are able to get like distribution here in America,
Yeah.
it always throws things for a loop.
So usually I say either like I'm able to watch it only in that year first, like I could not have possibly watched it earlier than 2024, or it's like qualifying for that year's worth of like the Oscars. But then that would include some movies that come out in January 2025, including Wallace and Gromit, which came out a few days ago. Would I include Wallace and Gromit in the 2024 movies? I feel like I can't. It came out January 5th, of 2025.
Right. I would
Feels
say you
wrong.
can because again, for instance, The Brutalist, like you and I would just not have been able to see that in
Exactly.
2024. Like we were
We
forbidden,
tried and it was impossible. We would have had to
and
fly to New York.
exactly. So for things like that, I think like even though you watch it in 2025 and that's when it comes available to you, I would say that could count as a 2024 film. But the opposite problem, like sometimes there's films that come out in 2023, but they don't come available to us until 2024. And there's a
And
couple
I
of
would count
those
those as
that I'm looking at.
2024
Yeah, I'm gonna do
as
that as
well.
well. So
Which is like, it's bizarre that we hold both of those standards to be true and they're conflicting interests.
exactly,
I think
but
it's
it's
more like a
just
vibe thing, You just vibe which ones would fit onto which list. Because it feels wrong to put Wallace and Gromit on the 2025 list when it's competing for this year's Oscars. And a lot of people, it like ran the festival circuit last year. Just because it came out a few days after New Year's doesn't feel like it's a movie I should put in 2025. I guess I should change my list on Letterboxd to 2024 season as opposed to 2024 list, because that
yeah,
would strictly be movies that came out in 2024, which isn't as accurate, I guess.
right. Yeah,
I'm
I would
trying to be as
say
accurate as possible.
there's definitely leeway there. I think yeah, 2024 season is a nice way to put it. Or again, just
Yeah.
understanding that like yeah, a few days difference I don't think matters too much, especially if again they do the qualifying runs. So it's
Hmm.
like it was in theater somewhere, we just weren't able to access it, but it was still like a
Exactly.
2024 film at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right, let's circle back in here to the Golden Globes. Best screenplay for motion picture goes to Peter Strahan for Conclave. So he was
That
able
is
to defeat Amelia
becoming,
Perez, Honora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, and The Substance. It was the only adapted screenplay
yeah,
of the bunch. I
kind of
guess Amelia
becoming a
Perez
lock.
might count, but
Kind of becoming a lock for adapted screenplay, especially a nomination, kind of most likely a win. Which
nomination is
I kind of
secured.
figured.
It seems like a win. It's a front runner now, 100%. So
Which puts it. I mean, I don't think it's going to win Best Picture, but it definitely gives it a boost since one of the screenplay winners usually indicates the Best Picture winner, which means it would come down. I don't think Conclave is winning. It would come down to an original screenplay winner, which would be Nora or The Brutalist,
indeed.
which are the two front runners. I still think
Or
Nora should have won for Best Screenplay.
yeah,
I'm
you were rooting
still,
for. I mean, every single category you were rooting for Nora in here. So
yep, didn't win a single goddamn thing. We'll get to
nope.
that. But I don't know. It is fantastic. It is so fantastic.
I'll be curious to see where this lands on your top 10 list because you have been an intense advocate ever
We'll have to
since
see
you.
how much I like the Brutalist, I guess.
There we
Who
go.
knows? Maybe I love the Brutalist. I won't know until Thursday, 2 days from today.
I'll be very excited to see it. So yeah,
I'm
in
gonna I'm
a
gonna
few weeks
text
when
you
we do
all
our
the
top 10.
spoilers. I'm gonna
God,
live tweet you while I'm watching the 3.5 hour movie.
it's
I'm
insane.
gonna call you during the intermission. I'm gonna tell you everything that happened in the first half.
Then you can find your own way to the train station. Okay. I ain't driving nowhere. I'll be asleep at 3:30 a.m.
You would be so mad. I'm gonna wait until you drop me off at the train station, and then
No.
I'm gonna lean into the car and I'm gonna go, Adrian Brody dies. And you're gonna freak out.
No. But all right. In the next category, best performance in a stand-up comedy on television, Ali Wong for Single Lady.
Yeah, I have no horse in this race, I guess. Kind of sad that Nikki Glazer didn't win while she's hosting.
I know that's pretty sad. That would have
Yeah.
been a nice little moment there.
Also
But
said
yeah.
that Adam Sandler didn't win after his Chalamet earlier in the night.
Dude, that was awesome.
It was very
He
good. It
was
was a good
totally
bit.
game for it.
It
And
started off as kind of like an odd bit, but because Adam Sandler also committed to it, it became a good bit.
exactly. Because then you're like, oh, she's right. Like, she was perfectly nailing it. That is
Yeah.
totally a Sandlerism.
Timothy Chalamet.
So yeah, that was awesome. All right, best motion picture, non-English language. No surprise, Emilia Perez
Yeah.
is the victor.
Every year, there's one foreign film that's nominated for Best Picture as well, and that's just the one that wins Best Foreign Picture. It's
Yeah,
just kind of how it goes every fucking year.
they just got to give, like, if the nominations end up that way, they need to just be like, okay, you are taken out of foreign language and just you're in the big picture, or yeah, the big best picture one, and then we let somebody else get into the foreign
You
slot
think so?
because otherwise it's just obvious, right? If four of your competitors don't get into the best picture slot, but you do, obviously you're going to beat out those other four for that
Yeah.
category. So it's just like an immediate win. There's no surprise, no suspense, and then it eliminates one other film from being able to be recognized on a big stage. Like getting that Oscar recognition is huge.
Mhm.
So I feel like they just need to find a way to figure that out because we've seen this with a film every single year since Parasite. So
Yeah, absolutely. I will say though, I'm a little surprised the Seat of the Sacred Fig didn't win, even though Amelia Perez is obviously like the front runner because it's nominated for Best Drama. But I just feel like that is like a gimme because they have so many big names attached to it. And it's a Netflix movie and it has a lot of money attached to it and whatnot. I feel like because of like the political nature surrounding the Seat of the Sacred Fig, I feel like that would have been a big boost to really help it get over that finish line. And I've heard good things as well. Like I hear it's a very good movie. And I've also heard very fantastic things about All We Imagine Is Light, which also got a directing nomination, which is actually very, very cool.
exactly, 100%. But yeah, unfortunately, they did not make it. But we'll see them again at the Oscars. Maybe they'll have more of a chance there. But again, I think Amelia Perez will have a lock on that category as well.
Mm-hmm. And then we have Best Performance by an Actor in a Limited Series, Anthology Series, or Motion Picture Made for Television. A little surprising, Colin Farrell for The Penguin. I thought it was going to go to Richard Gere for Baby Reindeer, but it didn't.
No, Colin Farrell won, so that was pretty awesome to see. His speech was incredible, very fun. Him thanking craft services at the end.
Dude.
Carolina.
King.
Carolina. So yeah, that was great. He needed that coconut water for when he was drowning.
Oh, the coconut water. Yeah.
All right, best performance by an actress in a limited series, anthology, or TV movie. Jodie Foster for True Detective Night
Also
Country.
surprise.
The fourth
Big
season
surprise.
of that anthology series. She did win the Emmy as well.
Did she?
So, yeah.
I guess she's just really good in it. I haven't seen it. I've heard not great things about this season. Exactly, so I didn't think it would win anything, but I guess Jodie Foster just fucking kills it. Which, apparently. I mean, of course, it's Jodie Foster. I mean, of course she kills it. Like, come on.
Yeah, she's fantastic. And this is
she's also nominated against like the likes of Kate Blanchett and Kate Winslet and Naomi Watts, you know, some heavyweights. And Kristen Milioti, who has like a big fan base behind her for The Penguin.
That's true. Yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about her and her character in that.
Yeah, so. And Sofia Vergara, who yelled at Jodie Foster when she won.
Playfully heckling her, yeah. Because that was Jodie Foster's fourth Golden Globe.
Jesus.
Crazy. So she's definitely a favorite there. All right. Best performance by an actress in a motion picture, musical, or comedy. Demi Moore for The Substance was the
crazy
winner.
Surprise.
This was
crazy
a huge
surprise.
Yes. Beat out Mikey Madison for Honora. Many thinking that she is the front runner. Beat out Carla Sofia Gascon, another potential front runner there. Cynthia Erivo as well. Again, we were going to see how much the Wicked love was going to pour over into the Globes, but not so. Demi Moore with The Substance. And I said it as she was going up, and I was like, all right, let's see. She's auditioning for the Oscars now. Can she give a speech that will land her that nomination? She put her in win contention, and she so did. She nailed it. Did. That was the best speech of the night by far.
It was fantastic.
She had every note she needed to.
She's getting a nomination.
She's 100% getting a nomination. She just secured it. Welcome to the Oscar race. And this was that moment where they had like the camera movement arcing around her as she's like giving the speech, and I'm like, this is just a straight up like movie moment here. This is insane.
Mhm.
So everything was coming together there for her. So yeah, perfect speech.
Yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely. Still in the Mikey Madison camp myself. I still think she is fantastic. Always rooting for Nora, and I think I'm still thinking that she will win. I mean, it's the Golden Globes; they do tend to lean like different than a lot of other award ceremonies because they have a much smaller voting body. I still think Mikey Madison is the favorite. I think unless Demi Moore gets like a bunch of boost from other award ceremonies like the SAG Awards and whatnot, building up to the Oscars, I think it's still Mikey Madison's to lose. And I think if she's going to lose it, it would be to Carla Sofia Gascon. But I mean, who knows? At this point, this category just got turned into anybody's race, you know?
it sure did. We had a big shakeup here. So
Yeah,
yeah, that'll be exciting to watch. Best
absolutely.
performance by an actor in a motion picture, musical, or comedy. Another big surprise here: Sebastian Stan for A
Yeah.
Dark Man winning. So again, none of these people are really contending for the Oscars, but I did not
Mhm.
expect him to get the win. But he went up there, shouted out this film and The Apprentice as well, which he was also nominated for in the drama category. And I think he also delivered a really great speech. Again, I don't know that
Mhm.
it'll be as seismic as Demi Moore. That definitely will put her in like win contention. Sebastian
Yeah.
Stan, again, I think it's still too far out of the even just nomination conversation. But if there's anything that was going to sway people, I think it was what he talked about there of like these being important films, challenging films, but necessary.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I think he did a great job in his speech as well.
Yeah. I still have not seen A Different Man. Have you?
I have not either.
Very sad. I was really rooting for Jesse Plemons. I love Jesse Plemons, especially in Kinds of Kindness. Oh my god, he fucking kills it. I'm really glad that he was nominated for Best Actor and not Best Supporting Actor. I think he like definitely came out as the lead of that movie in a lot of ways. Very, very fiery performance, very different performance in all three sections. I It's sad to say that he won't get an Oscar nomination. Perhaps if they had played the supporting game, maybe he could have cinched one in, but doesn't seem like it. He still won at the Cannes Film Festival, which is really, really nice. But
Hmm.
maybe another year. I love Jesse Plemons. He will have his time. His time will come. He will win an Oscar.
Yeah, he's always reliably incredible. So
Fantastic. Every single
yeah,
time.
I wouldn't have been mad. I mean, yeah, any of these people here, I think would have been a fine win. Again, I haven't
Hmm.
seen like Heretic, but again, Hugh Grant apparently put on an incredible performance in that.
Hmm.
Haven't seen
Not much of a
Saturday Night, but I do
comedy
like
though.
Gabriel LaBelle. And then
Glenn Powell and Hitman is good though.
I
That's a
have
good
seen
pick.
Hitman. I was able to catch that
You
on
watched Hitman?
Netflix.
Did you
Yeah,
like it?
I did. It was, and he was fun in that.
It's delightful, isn't it?
So I thought that was great. And then Jesse
So much
Eisenberg, I
fun.
think, gives a great performance as well. So if I were choosing, I would have probably picked Eisenberg there. But I would have been happy with any of the potential nominees.
Yeah. Best Picture Animated went to the Latvian silent animated film Flow about a cat, which is kind of wild to me because it was up against Inside Out 2, a Pixar juggernaut that made the most money this year out of any other movie, and Moana 2, which is also like a big Disney juggernaut, and The Wild Robot, which has a huge fan base, DreamWorks behind it,
Hmm.
and Wallace and Gromit, which also has a huge fan base, and Memoir of a Snail, which I personally think is the best out of all these movies. But good for Flow. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Latvia really pulled up.
absolutely. Again, this is like the running theme of this night, I think, is that these globes are much different after that scandal and after it took the year off and then now they've changed. Again, I still don't fully know like what is the voting body of the Golden Globes now, but they are certainly different than how they used to be.
Yeah, hopefully more
And
diverse now.
let's hope that was one of the major things they needed to check off
Yeah.
when they regrouped. But yeah, they're awarding many more like foreign films and smaller foreign films and things like
Hmm.
that rather than just the big like glitzy Hollywood things,
Yeah.
which is definitely how they used to operate. So very fascinating seeing this
Yeah.
shake out now. Because yeah, Flow, huge surprise. And again, even
Yeah.
Wild Robot would have been like, oh, that's the like underdog in a way, very heartfelt, very well made, fighting out the juggernaut of Pixar and Moana 2, like having that, because typically it is just Disney or Pixar that always wins. And that's been shaken up recently, but you would have thought Wild Robot would be the one that would, shake things. But Flow, again, a very small film that hardly anyone has seen. I think it only had like 1 week in theaters. I was thinking about going, but things didn't line up. And now I'm like, God dang, I missed it. I missed my
It's
chance
too
in the
bad.
theaters. And I
Yeah.
don't know where it's going to be streaming or anything. So,
Who knows, man? Who
this,
knows where it'll be streaming? But it'll be somewhere, sometime, eventually, at some point. As with half of these movies, I mean, it's hard to really. Anytime we do award ceremony stuff, it's always a little hard because there'll always be stuff we miss. But this year, especially, a lot
this
of these
year's the worst.
movies,
Yeah. A lot of it
yeah,
hasn't come
it's a
out.
lot of because there a lot of bigger name filmmakers didn't come out with a lot of movies this year, and the ones that did, they were more commercial, I suppose is a word, or just not really like award season vibes, I guess. And so they fell to a lot of independent filmmakers like Sean Baker and Brady Corbet. And I think, I mean, obviously that makes it harder to see these movies. Independent movies are always going to be harder to see. They rarely get wide distribution, and when they do, it's only because of these award ceremony stuff. And that's only happening now. So now we will see The Brutalist come out into theaters. Now we will see some of these foreign movies come out when they get Oscar nominations. It's just, and Nickel Boys too. We'll see it now once it gets
Exactly. Yeah.
a
Nickel
Best Picture
Boys,
nomination.
Sing
Sing
Sing,
Sing was
Brutalist, like
only
these
in an
things
art
haven't
house
come out
theater
yet.
in Orlando for like a week. It wasn't
Yeah.
even in wide release, I don't think. Maybe it was, I don't remember. But like very, very tight release windows and in very limited theaters just makes it hard to see, you know? And I think that is something that now we can talk about Best Director went to Brady Corbet for The Brutalist. This is something that Brady Corbet talked about in his speech, giving money to filmmakers and encouraging studios to back filmmakers and their projects. And he talked about his own journey of getting The Brutalist made over 7 years, and how nobody wanted to make a 3.5 hour movie about a designer survivor from the Holocaust, and like the journey he had to go on to get this movie made and seen, and that he's like very grateful that it's being recognized now. But I mean, when we think about it, it's fantastic that it's getting awards, it's getting nominations, it's getting attention, but it's not getting seen. Isn't that a bigger issue? I mean, yes, it played in LA and New York, and yes, it played at a bunch of festivals, and yes, it's getting attention from the film community, but as somebody who appreciates movies and appreciates artistic movies, I would want a wider audience to see movies like these so that they can appreciate. It's kind of douchey to say, but so they can appreciate movies on a higher sense, I guess, to expand their
Hmm.
taste, I suppose, to expand what they consider enjoyable. And it just makes it so much harder to do that. Even when you get attention like The Brutalist is getting at award shows, which is fantastic, it's still hard to do that when it's impossible to see. So as much as I love attention and I love like financial backing for independent movies and things like that, distribution is also incredibly important.
Right. And this is just their, again, their release strategy, the way that they're doing it, because they needed to qualify. And so they released it in the small amount of theaters that they needed to. And then I think they were banking on the fact that it would get awards recognition. And then now people can see, oh, in theaters this upcoming week, The Brutalist, which just won 3 Golden Globes. So now it's like, okay, maybe I'll give this, again, 3.5 hour art house film, seven
Yeah.
plus years in the making, with an intermission in the middle of it. I'll give that a chance. Because again, that
I'm
is
so
asking a
hyped
lot
for the
of like
intermission, bro. I'm so
casual.
fucking hyped for it.
Yeah, that'll be really nice.
The last time
Um,
I saw a movie in theaters with an intermission was when I saw the 35 millimeter showing of Hateful Eight back in 2015.
wow.
And you know what's even worse? Is that I
What?
left at the intermission because my mom made me leave because I went with her and she didn't want, she didn't like the movie. She thought it was too inappropriate, and so we had to leave. The intermission happened and we left. Which,
No.
having seen the second half of that movie, thank God we did, because the first half it cuts to intermission after the story where Samuel L. Jackson makes the guy
I
suck
have
his dick for
not seen
warm.
it.
Oh,
He does what? He does
how
what?
have you not seen The Hateful Eight? It's been 10 years.
Dude, You know,
I just
just
spoiled
been
the
busy watching
craziest
other
part of the
things,
movie.
but that's wild.
You should really watch The Hateful Eight. I'm glad you cut me off before I spoiled even more.
Goodness gracious! All right,
You, I really like The Hateful Eight. You should give it a shot. It's
I
on
will.
Netflix. The extended version's on Netflix too, which I have
I
not
know. Do
seen.
you? Would you recommend that or
I
the?
haven't seen it,
Well, okay.
but it's 4 hours, and the original is already 3. I say just stick with the original for now.
Mhm. Yeah, I am. It's on the list. I'll get to it at some point. But now,
Now you
now I
really got to
know
see
I
it.
can have something to look forward to. I guess that's absurd. Um, but anyway, yeah, the intermission is going to go hard.
It's gonna go so hard, dude. It's gonna be
Can't wait for that.
awesome.
But all right, let's talk about the best original score for a motion picture. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross for Challengers
Huge
taking
win,
the win.
big dub. That is very sick. I mean, if we could propel them to an Oscar win, that is a huge dub for me because that would take away a point from you because we thought the Brutalist was going to win it, or we thought Conclave was going
So
to win it.
calculating, man.
In either way, you would have gotten it. I still think Amelia Perez has a really great score, but I understand why a lot of these other ones are front runners. I mean, the Challenger score is awesome. 9 Inch Nails kills it. Conclave has a very, very good score, and I've heard really, really great things about the Brutalist. I'm a little surprised to see the Wild Robot in here, but all right. And Dune 2 got its deserved nomination that it will not see again at the Oscars.
Tragic.
Unfortunately.
That would have been very clutch, would have been beautiful, but that's okay.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
He got the win for the first time.
Indeed. And we have Best Original Song for Motion Picture. That went to El Mal for Emilia Perez. And it will continue to go to El Mal for Emilia Perez throughout the rest of the awards season because this song is fucking incredible, dude. Oh my God, I love this song.
I will be excited to hear it once I watch Emilia Perez. But do you think at every win that they have, that Zoe Saldana is going to go on stage with them to accept the award?
That was a crazy... Why was she there?
I don't know. I think she was just confused. She was like, I saw myself up there. I heard myself singing or whatever.
She did perform.
It's
I mean, she's the one who performs the song, but Carlos Sofia Gascon also sings on that song, and she did not go up there. Zoe Saldana was going crazy at the Golden Globes. It was awesome. I love her.
She was. That was awesome. All right. Cinematic and box office achievement went to Wicked. So they were able to get the full crew up there because they knew they weren't going to get any other award. So
Yeah.
John M. Chu gave his speech and talked his heart out because he wasn't going to have another opportunity for this. So
yeah, I'm not a fan of this award, and I'm not a fan of a popularity contest, which is all this is. I mean, it's not even like a you made the most money, like actual box office achievement award. It's a popularity contest. It's the movie that had the biggest moment in 2024, which I think deservedly was Wicked. Absolutely, it at the very tail end of the year had a huge moment with the people, in America.
mm-hmm.
Big turnout here in the States, but I do not care for a popularity contest, I suppose. I mean, I don't really care for any of these contests deep down. I mean, it's just kind of a fun thing to talk about and a fun thing to watch and see people get recognized for like art, I guess, and see smaller movies get recognition at award ceremonies. Like that's all fun and joyous, but I don't really care for like the competition of art. So this specifically is like we're not even recognizing you for being high quality art. We're recognizing you for being really popular.
Yeah.
Being like a movie that people really liked, which I guess is kind of what the like People's Choice Awards are, I suppose, is also just a popularity contest inherently since the people vote.
Yeah. I mean, this is the
MTV
specifically
Awards.
To get more people to watch the ceremony because they're like, you've never heard of The Brutalist or Honora or Emilia Perez, but you have heard of Wicked.
Yeah, and watch
and Beetlejuice. So come watch the ceremony so you can see maybe a few of the stars from those.
Look, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are going to go on the stage. Isn't that cool?
Gives them something to root for. Again, I mean, recently there have been, again, like last year, Oppenheimer and Barbie were legitimate contenders. Obviously, Oppenheimer won, and again, the few years past, thing like Avatar, Top Gun Maverick. So it's like we have been getting at least bare minimum one, often two blockbusters that have been in the Best Picture race for a few years now, and it's still not bumping up those numbers. So again, things have just changed too much. People do not watch TV anymore, cable TV, and don't watch award ceremonies. But yeah, this is just a last grasp at trying to hold on to an audience that will care more about these like popular mainstream movies.
Yeah.
So it's again, I'm not a fan of it either. I understand why they're doing it. Whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
Best
yeah,
television limited series, anthology series, or motion picture made for television went to Baby Reindeer.
indeed. So
No
it beat
surprise
out
there.
the Penguin, beat out True Detective Night Country. So Baby
I'm not
Reindeer,
surprised.
true
Baby
sensation.
Reindeer has been cleaning up, dude. I'm still a little surprised Richard Gadd didn't win for his performance, but I'm not surprised that the show itself won. It's been cleaning up.
Mhm. And best television series for a comedy or musical, Hacks.
Yes,
Your favorite. It was able to
big
win, so it
win.
beat out the Bear. The Bear was not able to hold on to its win
I love
streak.
Hacks.
And Abbott
An
Elementary
actual
was also not
comedy.
able to take it. There you go. So yeah, a nice, well-deserved win there. Best performance by an actress in television series drama, Anna Sawai for Shogun.
Also, no surprise. Shogun still continuing to clean up. Well deserved
Absolutely.
win, I'm sure. I still need to watch that. And best television series drama, Shogun. I mean, come on. We knew where that was going. Come on.
Yeah, very obvious.
No competition.
Best performance by an actress in a motion picture drama, Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. This
This
was
one
a
was
huge
a
surprise.
little surprising, yeah. I'm kind of shocked by this one. I mean, compared to the best actress in a comedy category, this one doesn't have a lot of front runners for best actress in general. I think the
Mm-hmm.
closest you've got is Angelina Jolie for Maria and possibly Nicole Kidman for Baby Girl, but Fernanda Torres got a bit of a bump here. I mean, this was like I thought this was more of like a, courtesy nomination for like throwing in a foreign film here. It's not a movie I've seen yet, but a movie I want to see. I heard she's fantastic in it, but it's just not something that I think a lot of people have seen or heard about. But I guess she was terrific and just knocked out a lot of like A-list celebrities for this win. So good for her.
Exactly. Again, old-fashioned Globes. Definitely would have given it to Angelina Jolie, without a doubt. If not Nicole Kidman, if not Kate Winslet, if not Pamela Anderson. Like, there's so many other people
Yeah,
that you would have thought, oh, they just would love to award this person, and they would jump at that chance. But yeah, this new awards body, they give it to Fernanda Torres, probably the like biggest underdog here. So definitely, she will now be in the Oscars race. We'll see if she's able to get that nomination. But yeah, definitely one to look out for.
indeed. And best performance by an actor in a motion picture drama went to, no surprise here, Adrian Brody for The Brutalist. I mean, he
Although this
is.
one is a stacked category, so
It
it could
is,
have
yeah.
gone to any of these folks, but Adrian Brody definitely is the front
Front
runner,
runner, man.
and
Absolutely.
he's solidifying that status here. Timothy Chalamet, though, I thought perhaps there would have been momentum behind him. Complete
He's coming out
Unknown.
as like a kind of a closer second than I thought he would for a complete unknown. I thought Ray Fiennes was going to be coming in here as a second, but it just feels like Timothy Chalamet has a lot going behind him. I still need to see a complete unknown, but I hear he's fantastic in it. Uh,
Hmm.
Again, had this been 4 months ago, we would have thrown our whole weight behind Coleman Domingo for this. But
Yep.
I think not enough people have seen Sing Sing or heard of Sing Sing to push him over the win here. I think The Brutalist is getting a lot of attention for how audacious a film it is, for like how low of a cost it was to make. There's just a lot of praise behind it and whatnot. So I think Adrian Brody has a lot of weight there. And Daniel Craig has also seemed like he's a lock for an Oscar nomination. I think the only one, I think our 5 Oscar nominees are here in this category, and we just kind of cutting out Sebastian Stan, unfortunately, for The Apprentice.
Exactly. I agree with that. And so that definitely makes it a very solid category. Again, Adrian Brody is definitely leading the pack, but there could be shifts. I mean, we have 2 months. I guess I don't know when the voting is, but 2 months until the ceremony of the Oscars. And so we could see perhaps a few late surges for Coleman Domingo if they just get that film in front of people. And Ray Fiennes as well, perhaps. Again, Conclave getting that win for screenwriting definitely is helpful. And then Timothy Chalamet, again, he's been everywhere doing the press tour of a lifetime. So
Yeah.
he will definitely be in people's minds. And
And
if
they
it's that great of a
love giving awards
performance,
to biopics, man. They love giving awards to
that's
biopics.
true. And it could be them crowning like this is our next generational talent. I mean, he's earned it by this point, and so that's just
Oh
like the
yeah, for
one
sure.
last notch in the belt there. So yeah, all right. And motion picture drama, The Brutalist, unsurprisingly, taking it here. Um, so yeah, definitely going to be the front runner. Again, we thought it was Brutalist versus Honora going into this, and we thought each of them would get that win in their respective category. But what happened in the musical or comedy category?
A crazy win from Amelia Perez for Best Motion Picture Musical or Comedy, knocking out Honora completely. No wins for Honora the whole night. Insane to me. I think this is definitely like a trend of the Golden Globes leaning towards including more foreign films for sure. I
Mm-hmm.
still think that this is a crazy pick. I think this is a crazy choice, Amelia Perez over Honora. I enjoyed both movies, but I think anybody who watches both, maybe not anybody. I think most people who would watch both would definitely find Honora more compelling of a story and more well told of a story. I enjoy Amelia Perez a lot. It's just it has not received nearly the same amount of critical claim as Honora has. Honora has been blowing people out of the water since it premiered. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I wish Honora was getting more. It feels like it's not getting any attention anymore. It was Substance got some attention at when it premiered because it won Best Screenplay and it was very like wild and audacious. And Sing Sing seemed to be a big front runner for a long time. And then Honora came out and everybody was like, okay, Honora's the front runner. Absolutely. We're gonna lean that way very, very heavy. And then The
Mm-hmm.
Brutalist came out and that starts to compete with Honora, and then it felt like those two were going at it. And then Wicked comes out, and all of the attention goes to Wicked on every news source, and you just don't see anything about a lot of other movies. But because Brutalist hasn't gone wide yet, they have the advantage of continuing their press tour to try and get people to go to see the movie when it does eventually come out. And
Mm-hmm.
Honora already did their press tour before Wicked came out, so it feels like there's a lot less attention for it. And now, for some reason, Amelia Perez has just come out of nowhere, even though that got released way earlier in the year, around the same time Honora did, and is now taking a lot of acclaim, which is shocking to me when I feel like Honora was doing so well. And I still am rooting for Honora. It's still a very, very, very high up on my list of last year. I'm encouraging everybody to go see Honora and to go tell all your friends about it after you see it, as I know you will, because it's fantastic. I'm just so shocked that considering what the movie is, considering how it handles its subjects, considering how entertaining it is, purely like I felt like this would have a bigger push from the people. I feel like the people would find Honora to be the movie that is both artistic and very entertaining. And I did not think I haven't seen The Brutalist, but I did not think the 3.5 hour period piece was going to be the thing that like won the people over, and it seems like it is. So maybe that's just a testament to how good it is. I don't know. I haven't
Well, who
seen
are the
it.
people in this instance?
Like the average everyday guy, just a dude who goes to the movies.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know that we'll have to wait on that to see how that actually plays out. But I would say,
Yeah,
as far as critics groups and everything, again, Honora is still incredibly beloved. So I'm sure it will continue to like it nods at every possible turn.
yeah, but
And
they're not doing any press
this is
anymore.
just the one award show, like the Golden Globes, that they weren't able to clinch any wins. But I think
If
like Mike
they,
Madison is still like far ahead. The winner for like Best Actress, I think Nora's
yeah,
gotten probably the most nods in critics groups, aside from maybe the Brutalist. So I think they'll bounce back. Again,
I
Golden
need,
Globes is increasingly weird and hard to understand in context of like the full award season race nowadays. So we'll just have to, look and see how much this actually factors in. If Amelia Perez is just going to dominate all the way around,
dude.
or if it's just, it's a French film. Again, a lot of the like winners here, even down to like, The Substance getting, I think, director and screenplay for Coralie Farge and everything. Like, they just love to embrace these films that, many years ago, I don't think would have been as highly acclaimed at like this
Yeah.
particular award show. So they're very different now. And I don't know how much that informs the actual like Oscars race. So we will see.
I just want Nora to win so bad. It seems a lot more unlikely that it will win Best Picture, which is very sad to me. But I mean, there's a good chance that I really love The Brutalist, which I mean, I guess I will be happy either way in that case if I do enjoy The Brutalist. But I really want her to win Best Actress so bad, and I really want Sean Baker to win Best Director because I love him. I love him so much, and he's finally getting like, other than the Florida Project, which has like a cult following, he's finally getting like widespread attention.
Indeed, you've been Baker billed this
A little
past
bit,
year,
man.
It's funny. All
I
right,
gotta see Red Rocket.
you do. But yeah, I think one thing is for sure: this award ceremony is not set in stone.
Everything's
There's
up
a
in the
lot
air,
of
man.
things up in the air, which will make it exciting. Again, Best
Yeah.
Picture, there's like 4 or 5, like a handful of options that it could go. And there's still some surprises here and there. Again, Substance is now like a legitimate Best Picture nominee contender. Like it could sneak in there.
I'm very
So-
much looking forward to the nominations in a week and a half. That'll
Yeah.
be awesome.
So a lot to look forward to. A very exciting awards race.
Indeed. That is all the time we have. If you'd like to give your thoughts on the show, you can email us at theboxofficeshowpod@gmail.com.
Our main title theme for the show is Sundown by Joseph McDade.
If you like the show, please give us 5 stars on whatever podcast app you're listening to, and be sure to tune in next week. Have a great rest of your day.